have you decided you're definitely going to send National Guard troops to Chicago?
I didn't say when, but the answer is look, Chicago's very interesting because I watched Pritzker get up and say about we don't need help, we're safe. But 2 weeks ago they had 6 people murdered, and they had 24 people hit by bullets. Last week, as you know, it was 7 people, 24 people hit, and 7 people died. And then over the last 2 days, that was the crown jewel. They had, I guess, 9 or 10 killed, and 50 hit with bullets. And you have this governor get up, who's a terrible governor. Probably he and Gavin Newsom would be probably the two worst and most naive. They're naive. Either they're naive or they're very untruthful. And he'll say, we don't want any protection. We don't need. So in the last.
And that's the amazing thing about the Democrats. All right. So President Trump is now offering to send in the National Guard to prevent these problems from happening. And Democrats are panicking after he threatens National Guard. Imagine that. Democrats panic after Trump threatens National Guard because they're not doing their jobs. You can see all the stats that Trump has reeled out of citizens of Chicago being gunned down. And Chicago has one of the strictest gun laws in the country. And yet this is happening. And with his citizens being killed, Governor Pritzker and Brandon Johnson get up and all they do is freak out about Trump coming in to do what they should have done in the first place to protect their own citizens.
3 weeks, he's lost almost 20 people killed. There's no place in the world, including you can go to Afghanistan, you can go to places that you would think of. They don't even come close to this. Chicago is a hellhole right now. Baltimore is a hellhole right now.
Well, you heard it. It's a hellhole. And yet you have Democrats running interference and claiming that the cuts that Trump made on some of the programs that actually don't work are the reason why there's been gun violence, historic gun violence in their cities. Meanwhile, when they say historic, it simply means this is what's been happening for decades. We just choose to call it historic because it's Trump.
We're joined now by Democratic Representative Mike Quigley. He serves on the House Appropriations and Intelligence Committees. Congressman, thank you so much for being here with us. You also live there in the Chicago area, in this state of Illinois, and the events we're seeing in Chicago today are really interesting because this event typically draws in very large crowds, and you were among those today. A lot of people were quite fearful not coming out. How would you say the president's immigration threats are impacting people there in that area?
Yeah, you're right. I just finished walking the Mexican Independence Day parade with my friend Chuy Garcia in Chicago's Pilsen neighborhood. And you would have to describe it as a neighborhood on edge. But at the same time, reduced crowds, but very much a resilient, proud community that wants to take a stand here. This was much more than a parade.
So you have people in a different country flying their own flags in your country and insisting that you don't enforce federal law. This is what a lot of Americans find disturbing and why they're so concerned that Democrats support this strong anti-American spirit. It's amazing how he can stand in front of the camera and claim that everyone's afraid because Trump is threatening to come in with the National Guard. The governor of your state refused to support ICE and protect them, and that's why they have to come in with protection in order to enforce federal law. And so he's going to go on this interview and continue to claim how Trump is the reason why people are scared, and not that they've been spending the last few weeks ginning up fear and claiming that the Trump administration is sending in the army to attack civilians.
It was a sense of unity at a difficult time. How it's affecting people, I think we need Exhibit A, our domestic violence court. Women are afraid to show up to get orders of protection. As a result, they're less safe. Schools are starting to talk about teaching remotely again because the parents and the kids are afraid to show up. This isn't a positive impact on anyone. It really puts a city at a disadvantage.
It is kind of remarkable to think about schools considering going remote again. It's like going back in time to COVID times almost.
Yeah, and obviously it has a very detrimental impact on parents, on the kids, their capacities to learn, the stress on schools. They're trying to teach everyone on an equal basis. It's very difficult to do and accomplish at this point in time.
Yeah, so you have the government working with the activists called educators, getting them to tell parents and kids that because of the stuff that Trump is planning to do in Chicago, schools aren't safe anymore. Now, they stand in front of the camera and make it sound like Trump is the one causing all the fear and panic, but it's really them and the rhetoric that they continue to spew in front of the camera. And outlets like CNN and TDSBC continue to give oxygen to this insanity.
And when I watch this and I see those raids, uh, what the American president is doing is in an economy that is dramatically short of workers. He's going after the 11 million undocumented who provide a critical addition to that economy. When we have press conferences about a comprehensive immigration reform, the hospitality industry, manufacturing, ag, they're all there talking about how vital that community is to our economy and why we must pass comprehensive immigration reform.
The governor there in Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, says he's going to fight Trump in court if the National Guard is deployed there. He also says, though, at this moment, he's not been notified of any actions by the White House. I'm curious, what do you know as of today, 4:06 here on the East Coast? What is the latest on the status of all of this?
If the president was serious about actually making communities safer, he would communicate. So I haven't heard anything. Our governor is doing the best he can. He hasn't. There's no effort at communication. And as a result, we're seeing what we're seeing. And the bottom line is we spent more money in Los Angeles putting the National Guard there than it cost to hire 2,000 Chicago police officers. And instead, he cut $820 million in anti-violence programs. We're going in the opposite direction. If he was serious about fighting crime, he would work with us.
So, here again, another Democrat talking point claiming that the American economy would collapse unless the American legal system caves in to continue allowing criminal, undocumented, illegal immigrants into the country. And when you continue to allow unchecked immigration into your country, honestly, you have no country anymore. It's really as simple as that. You can't continue this way. And this is one of the things that makes a lot of us believe that the Democrat Party has completely lost the plot, and that the only way that they can win another election is by rigging it into the ground. Well, that's all we'll be taking today from this coverage. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I'll see you on the next one.